Hi everyone, it's Farhandala, angel therapist and spiritual personal trainer for your excuse me, weekly angel card reading for September the 10th. And lots of things happening this week with all the kids going back to school and parents getting their kids settled. And I'm sure there's lots of organizing and scheduling being taken care of as people try to fall back into routines. And I know that many of you have been posting pictures of your kids' first day of school, and I've been watching them on Facebook. I think they're so cute. And it reminds me of some of my first days of school, and it's the excitedness and some of the anxiety associated with that. And one of the things that this particular week's reading is focusing on is not just children, but career and education and the things that you're passionate about. And the angels talked about how some of you are possibly feeling in a place of being in a rut, or you're not growing and you're not expanding. And I, in fact, was inspired to write this week about growth. And if you get a chance, you can definitely check it out on my blog at my website, farhandala.com, and just click on Blogspot. But the idea is that we are always needing to grow. We are always needing to expand. It's our natural evolution. As every kid, their photo that I saw was posting what grade that they were going into. It was a reflection of growth as they were stepping into a higher grade or moving towards higher education. And naturally, that we as human beings, even as adults, want to continuously grow and evolve. And when we're not, we're feeling stuck. And one of the reasons sometimes that we're actually stuck is we're holding on to old ways, old patterns, old belief systems. And to shift that, we need to let go of some of the old constructs, negative beliefs, and things that are limiting us. And the way you know something's limiting you is you generally feel stuck in your life. But the basis towards movement is creating new belief systems, but also following our passions. If you know you are passionate about something, you feel this intense desire to move towards it and grow towards it. And that is your soul literally screaming at you to move towards the direction of your passionate desires. And it's your heart opening up saying, this is what I want. So, with that said, I'm going to open up the reading this week with the first card. And the first card that I'm actually going to talk about is by Archangel Haniel, and he talks about passion. And when you are feeling, as I said, a burning desire or a heart's desire to move towards something, that is an indication that something that you're absolutely passionate about. If you're not feeling passionate about where you are in your life, especially with careers, and they keep emphasizing this week, given that the focus is on school and education and advancement, then possibly it's time to jump ship at what you're doing and take that leap and move towards what it is that you want to do next. And I firmly believe that many of us are going to have more than one career in this lifetime. I've already had three. I think I'm on my fourth, and I'm always going to have more than one career. But that's me. That's the Capricorn. But where you are right now, it may be time for you to make a move. So ask yourself, what am I passionate about? And ask the angels to amplify and give you crystal clear guidance and direction on that. And Haniel will let you know. So write down your questions to the angels and surrender them and say, help me find what I'm most passionate about. And it usually follows the answer to the question, what I love to do is, and then fill in the blanks. And that's usually a strong indicator of what you're passionate about. Card number 2 is also from Archangel Haniel, and Haniel is saying to pay attention to the moon cycles and how they make you feel. And one of the reasons is that generally, when we enter a new moon phase, this is the time when we want to plant seeds, set intentions that are going to move us forward. And full moon cycles, at the end of a full moon, is usually the termination of an intention where we need to let go of something. And so this ties in with this whole concept this week of what do I need to let go in order to grow, which is the title of my blog. But that said, this particular new moon will occur on September 13th, which is just a few days away from now. And it's a good idea the night before to spend some time in reflection or introspection and set intentions. And this particular new moon is to help with intentions, not just with career, but also with health, with organization, which makes perfect sense as all the kids go into school, with the need for worrying and perfectionism. In other words, if you're overly worried all the time and you're a bit of a perfectionist, this is the time to maybe set intentions to let go, to be less worrisome and to be more trusting. Maybe your intention is to be more trusting in the divine process this week. But if you're looking for more guidance or information about new moon phases and cycles, the reference I like to use is by Jan Spiller, and it's called New Moon Astrology, and it has all the different phase cycles of all the new moons and full moons and how to go about in setting intention. So if you want to look deeper into that, that's the reference that I recommend and that I periodically use myself. But this is a really good time to pay attention to how you're feeling during the lunar phase. And I know that I'm very affected by the lunar phase. I can tell you exactly when there's going to be a full moon and a new moon. And perhaps you are too, and that's probably why that you got this card. So use that, because I do believe that God gave us all these resources, not just in scriptures, but also in astrology, to assist us with our learning. And so the moon is one of our greatest teaching tools. It can certainly help us reach out for our goals and achieve all these great things that our heart's desires or what we're passionately driven for, but also letting go the things that are making us stuck and keeping us from being our truest selves. And card number 3 is the Indigo Crystal Child card, and it's by a message by Archangel Metatron. Now, if you got this card, it could have several layers and meaning. One is that you yourself could be a very sensitive indigo crystal child, and if you are, and if you're not sure what indigo means, definitely look it up and read more research on it. But generally, the indigo children have come to the planet who have a higher level of sensitivity. They're here with a big mission and a big assignment. They're usually placed in families that are to help them break old patterns and create new pathways and new belief systems, to let go of old constructs that don't make sense anymore. And you usually feel like you don't fit into the family that you're born with. I definitely am an indigo child, and I certainly know of many other light workers who are. But the reason why you may have gotten this card is you yourself may also be an indigo child. And one of the messages that the angel says, indigo children tend to be sensitive to synthetic ingredients or chemicals in food. And you're also sensitive to things like the news and negativity and fear. And just to be mindful of that, and to look at how you can best manage your sensitivity. One of the reasons why you may also have got this card is you may have an indigo or crystal child, and your child may also be highly sensitive, and you as a parent of an indigo child may be having difficulty with some of the issues that are coming up with your children. So definitely seek the guidance of the angels to assist you if you have an indigo crystal child. One of the things that I can honestly say is most indigo kids want to be heard, and they want to know that somebody is listening, because much of what they have to say is also to break rules, create new foundations and new rules. Like, indigo kids are really here to pave the way. They're here to take stands on things. Many indigo children are here to defend the rights of other children, to take a stance on equality, to represent animals and animal cruelty. And so environment, they're also very passionate about the environment and things that really matter. So definitely to work with indigo children can be sometimes challenging, because they will test boundaries and they will push them and they will make you question your own set of rules and constructs. And so they're here for our learning just as much as they are for their own. So, and finally, the other reason why you may have picked this card is one of your purposes in life may be to assist in working with children. So if you're not sure about a career and you're trying to figure out what you're passionate about, maybe this is the answer to the question that you've had this week about your life purpose. It could be just working with children. And with the increase in the number of indigo crystal children coming to this earth, it means that there's a lot of work to be done. So